Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Bart Bunce. I'm with Pro Edge Trading LLC, and we're going to start the presentation in just a minute. And could participants give me a heads up if you can hear me and see the screen, the presentation, first slide? Excellent. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing this morning? Hey, fantastic. Where do we have? Where are you guys from? Let's see some cities or states. Miami. Good, I'm doing good, thank you. Ohio, Utah, Phoenix, Vegas. Craig, how you doing, buddy? Austria, love it. New York, Switzerland, Montreal, Wisconsin, PA, St. Louis, Norway. Nice. We got some cousins up there in Norway. Let's see, Las Cruces, Richmond, Virginia, Dallas. Hey, Montana, which part of Montana? Detroit, San Francisco, LA, Northridge, Australia. I'm in Northern California. Trinidad, Tennessee. Nice. Seattle just up there. Vancouver, south of Missoula. All right. Got some property in between Helena and Great Falls. Am I staying dry? No. Switzerland, Sion. Nice. So yes, I have to get up at 5:30. I don't have to. I want to, right? Okay. United Kingdom, Brits. My ancestors, I'm Scottish. We're right around the corner. Okay. Fantastic. Thanks, you guys, for taking the time being here with me today and giving me the opportunity to take a look at this new trade room that I am and Right Line Trading are creating in collaboration together. This room is going to be focused focused on evaluation and trade and performance accounts, right? I was talking with Right Line. I use their software, Money Flow Tracker, and the Market Internal software. And they've been seeing some of the results that I've been putting up in the Right Line Discord room. And I think both parties came together to decide, it might be a good idea. I know there's a need out there. There's some really good traders out there, and there's other companies out there, and I think I want to offer something a little different in terms of what this room is, what it's going to do, and hopefully how it's going to be successful for all of us, because I'm going to be in there with you, right? I'm a trader, and I have started doing this full time since March of 2021. And it is my goal to be able to obviously derive a revenue stream that makes me comfortable. And I think that's everybody's goal in terms of evaluations. The challenge with evaluations and performance accounts or live accounts is getting to that point. And hopefully the trade room, this information I'm going to show today is going to show us how to do that, or at least give us some ideas about how to do this. All right, let me see. So bear with me. This is my first time doing this type of webinar, running the webinar. So I ask for your patience on this, and hopefully everything will work good. And let's go to the next slide here and see if it works. All right, legal disclaimers. This is the Right Line legal disclaimer. All signals and trading opportunities provided both orally, written, and electronically are disclosed to visitor subscribers for educational and demonstration purposes only. All right. Right Line takes no responsibility for participation of the visitors, subscribers within futures forex markets, nor for any profits or losses that may be incurred. We all understand these legal disclaimers. They are important. And I'm just going to interject here for a second too. If you guys could hold your questions just towards until the end. Otherwise, I may miss them. All right, I'm going to have to scroll back and take a look at everything. So just be patient with me, and let's hold those questions. Write them down or whatever, and then we'll get to them. Okay. All right. So we know that this is important, right? Risky is trading. Trading is risky. We all know that. We've all been there, whether we're using cash accounts, whether we're using evaluation accounts. We probably all know, it is risky. At the same time, it can be profitable as well. For my own legal disclaimer, it is the same thing. And, participation in the Forex and the future markets, there is substantial risk, right? All the information that I post or verbally communicate, on this side or any other site or any other format, is for informational education purposes only and is not financial advice. I do not make any claim, my company does not make any claims or advice of market expectations, directions, profit. I'm not a financial advisor or broker, or any type of other financial professional or expert. All right. So I think we all get the idea. All right. So hopefully this will be a 45-minute presentation. It may be a little bit longer. If you wish to stay, that's great. We're going to have a very special discount offer for this trade room. Okay. All right. So who am I and why listen to me, right? All right. We all want to know who we're doing business with or who we're listening to. My philosophy has always been, if I want to be successful, I pay attention to what successful people are doing. And that's really the bottom line. All right. I graduated with and you'll have to determine that for yourselves. I mean, that's up to you to decide whether I am the right person for you to listen to or not, or if this trade room is for you or not. So I'm up in Northern California, graduated a bachelor's science degree in finance, studied economics. I've had careers in the brokerage business, banking. Started off with my dad, actually, who was a broker in this area, started the brokerage firm. And after I graduated, I went into the brokerage business. Then I went into banking, worked my way up from, the teller desk and into new accounts, into 2 different management programs, and also assisted with the rollout of some computer software programs and training other retail branches in Northern California at the time. I am a business owner. I have two other businesses. I'm an investor. I invest in not only just in equities and equity portfolios, but real estate. And I've had a long and successful career in healthcare. I spent the last 2 years, since March 2021, I believe, in my opinion, earning the equivalent of an MBA in trading. All right. Since that time, I've spent roughly, I calculated it out, 8,500 hours, 9,000 hours, and counting, because trading is continuous educational scenario, in my opinion, right? And I started out trading and educating myself in the penny stock environment. Then I studied the small, mid cap stocks environment, large cap options, and now the futures markets. I've traded with or in the trade rooms of some of the best traders in this industry. If you're familiar with penny stocks, then you're familiar with Tim Sykes or Tim Grattani or Jack Kellogg. If you're familiar with small cap trading, maybe my investment community, MIC, with Bow and Alex, right? Under Nate, traded with Nate in Investors Underground. So we're talking, mostly, small and large cap trades in that room. And for options, Don Kaufman with Theo Trade, and we do our own trading options here in one of the other rooms. But that guy is phenomenal. And then obviously the futures markets, and I'm familiar with most of the groups out there. Have joined different groups and their rooms, and just take, and what it's about, all this to say, what this is about is finding a process and finding a group or a person to mentor with, to grow your own successful experience, right? So this is what I did. I kind of took the macro view, started at the beginning, and worked my way through the entire, equities markets, if you will. And I'm just like you. When I decided to do this and I moved on from my last career, I dropped everything. I was in corporate. I was in the top 1% of what I did in the nation, not just in my company, but in the nation of the, say, industry. I would say the top 1 to 5%. And, the rest never, the 95% had never achieved what I achieved during my career, and I'll say it was in healthcare, okay? So I took this seriously, and I started with the macro view, and then also started thinking about, at this point, or in the last, say, 30 days, this macro view, is it for everybody? I don't know. I think my son may be on this call, and talking with my son and his interest in trading, trying to decide, is it best to take a macro view and do what I did? I guess it depends if, a trader has, or the person has the money to invest in themselves to that degree, because it's not cheap, or to focus strictly on, or the focus strictly on, a micro view, and focus and concentrate in one area. All right. And, that's for every person to decide. And if somebody decides, okay, I'm going to take futures, I'm going to focus strictly on futures, then I think you're coming to the, if you decide to, coming to the right place to do that, because you're going to be able to take advantage of the things that I've learned, the software I use, and how I use it. Not to mention some of the other aspects of the room that may not be offered in other rooms, or, offered, once a month, what have you. My goal in this room is to create profitable traders, consistent profitable traders, CPTs, people that can actually earn an income, right? And it's not easy. We all know what the statistics are. 90% of quote unquote traders are going to fail. They're going to blow their accounts in 90 days. And when I first started, I saw that firsthand. I saw people lose. People that we had started our own Discord room outside of Investors Underground, and there was probably 10, 15 of us in there trading out small caps and shorting parabolics, borrowing stocks, so on and so forth. And I saw people running the front line of a trade, the front side of a trade, continually shorting something like JKS. At the time, we were in a bull market. We had quantitative easy. The market would dip. The market dipped, in 2020, dipped 9 times before it finally crashed. And I had already moved everything into cash because I knew it was coming. It was ridiculous, right? In my opinion. And, I saw traders trying to short the front side of a market, a JKS, that went straight up for 3 months, and they blew everything. They blew out everything because they didn't understand trading. They didn't understand the front side of a trade. They didn't understand risk management. They didn't understand. You just don't do that. You're adding to a losing position. You just don't do it, and it's a hard habit to break. I completely understand. All right, so back to the slide here. So we're starting the evaluation performance account trade room, right? And so maybe what are some of the reasons why to choose Right Line Trade Room? Our goal is to create the trade room. It's purely going to be focused on trader evaluation accounts, right? we're going to work on converting those evaluation accounts to performance accounts, and ultimately the trading performance accounts to achieve income. And that is my goal. I am in this 100%. I have my own accounts. I have a cash account. I have evaluation accounts. I am with you guys in this situation. All right. So the evaluation trading room strategy. And, this is going to change a little bit, but this is off the top of my head and what I would like to achieve in this room. And number one is leverage, right? And this is important. I think the first thing is that it is smart to utilize other investors' money for a small fee. I think that is smart, right? Starting a business is typically a lengthy, it's expensive endeavor. And smart people, smart entrepreneurs utilize cheap money to invest in ourselves and our business. And that just makes sense, right? I mean, I've done it. I've traded my own money. I did it for a year and a half. And I can tell you there's a lot of ups and downs while you're trying to make a living and you're trading your own money, not just from the physical standpoint or the investment standpoint of yourself and your time, but having to go through the emotional aspects of trading, because emotion, in my experience, is really a challenge for a lot of people, man. It is a big challenge, right? Two, we're going to focus on discipline. Since we're borrowing, in a sense, other people's money for our benefit, whether it's Apex, Lilu, trade for profit, what have you, the drawdown is we have to play by their rules, right? And those rules include discipline, money management, and control. Because it's these things that lead to consistent profitability, right? If we don't abide by the rules and those shallow drawdowns, those minimal drawdowns, we will blow the eval account. And I have been there, definitely. Blown eval accounts left and right because, one, I would, gamble. Two, I didn't understand the rules. Three, I was doing things that say Apex will not allow in a PA account, like trade the news. Who hasn't thought about, and I did, make a $376,000 trade using max size in a news orientated trade right off the start. And that's just something, say APEC, and there were some other issues related to that trade as well because of the speed of computer systems and so on that I researched it out. But, in the end, it was not a legitimate trade for, some bots had actually come up and grabbed it, but my positions. But at the time I was looking at green, $376,000. But if I was, in a PA account, most funding firms are not going to allow that. They're not going to allow you to trade the news. You can trade after the news, but not be in a position during the news, right? All right, so those tight drawdowns are there for a reason. They're there to prove a trader consistently manage the profitable aspects of trading. That's what they're looking for, right? Apex comes right out and says it. Three, observation. While we're trading for a funding firm evaluation account or a PA account or what have you, they're watching our trades, right? They can see our trades. They can see when we trade. They can see which trade we take. They can see all the great trades and they can see the not so good trades, right? But also they're evaluating the behavior or say the process of those trades. If I'm slamming a trade and I hit it multiple times, they see that. If I trade max size all the time, they see that. If they see me taking risky trade entries, I'm slamming, I'm consistently switching between long, short, I'm inconsistent, they're watching all of this, right? And I'm sure this is the case. I won't say it's my opinion, it is the case that, they all do this because all the firms do this because they have money at stake, reputations at stakes, and that's not what they're looking for. They're looking for business relationships, I think, in a large part, right? And they want profitable traders. They want traders that have good trading habits, good trading behaviors. All right. They want to know if the trading is well thought out and the trader's following a consistent, profitable process, or is trading completely randomly or emotionally, because it's easy to tell on a chart and looking at trades. It really is. You know, the flip side is, the good news is, if they are watching trades, it's an excellent, opportunity to show the funding firms that a trader can be intelligent, they can be processed, and they can be a consistently profitable trader. And that is what they are looking for, right? Those traders that perform well, as I just described, they go from an eval account to a performance account. It's still, in a sense, as I understand it, with Apex, it's still a paper account, but it's also a performance account that the trader will get funded or paid, right? First, right now, I believe their new rules with Apex, 25,000K goes directly a profit in a PA account over the profit level goes to the trader. Then it's a 90-10 split, right? 90 to the trader. From that point, they actually have live funded accounts, and they're going to give those accounts to the people that have proven themselves. That's it, bottom line, right? You're not going to give somebody a $50,000 contract or a $100,000 contract, a $300,000 contract, if they're not meeting certain standards set by the firm, right? And lastly, as traders, once we have effectively trained in the aspects of being a consistent, profitable trader, we leverage accounts to our advantage, right? And I'm talking multiple accounts, multiple eval accounts, and then, moving into multiple PA accounts. One, we're going to spread the risk over multiple accounts of our trades. And two, this allows us to trade in a fashion to take the best trades, the best setups, the high probability trades, and we don't need home runs. If we're trying to trade, right, and we want, I just throw it out there, $1,000, is it easier to attain $1,000 in one account, taking multiple trades, or 10 accounts and making a trade for $100? That's something every trader should consider, right? Martin actually how to do this. It's under their FAQs. He did a video on this, right? Because most traders are out there trying to kill it. These firms see people using max size all the time, trying to hit their profit goal, and then maybe run their account up a little bit and then not trade it and try to pull out profit. They don't like that. I can tell you right now. And most traders are just trying to kill it. Using the max size allows by the contract. And in my opinion, this is a disaster waiting. And I know from experience, right? I kind of gave you an example a few minutes ago, but think about it this way. We have multiple evaluation accounts, multiple PA accounts. And what if we made 400 a day, right? What if we just threw that out as a goal? And when I trade, I do not have a goal, because there are some days maybe we don't take a trade. There are some days the market is just a pain. We're not on, our mentality's off, what have you. All right. So I really don't try to set a daily goal. I will take what the market gives me and I'm going to be happy. Okay. If I have a losing day, I try to minimize that losing day, because really that is the key. If we can have the psychology, the emotional strength to stop when we have a red day, then the possibility of being successful goes up dramatically, right? All right, so for example, if we made $400 a day, that in itself is $100K a year, right? Now, what if we take the same 400 and divide it by 5 accounts, 5 eval accounts or PA accounts? You know what that equals? $80 a trade. That's it. I'll ask you guys a question. Is an $80 trade a high probability? Let me ask you this. So go ahead and I'll get back to your questions. Hopefully I can find them all, but just throw it out there right now. I mean, what, according to each of your trading, is $80, you know, attainable in a trade? Yeah, exactly. That's what we're looking for, right? ES 2 points, micros. Why not use micros? You can hit $80 on micros easily. All right. Exactly. So Eric, you got it. Okay. People don't need home runs. You don't need to kill every trade. You want to take runners, either long or short, given the setup, and take it. All right. What if we take the same $400 goal, right, and divide it by 10 accounts? That's $40 a trade. I mean, to me, if I'm looking at this from a trader's perspective point of view and having a partnership with a funding firm, to me, this is the way to do it. They are looking for consistency. They are looking for risk management. They are looking for all these things that make sense with small, successful base hits. Hey, if you're trading multiple accounts, you get a run, or multiple contracts, and you get a runner, great. You have an ATM that will let one run, and you move your stop loss down, you follow it correctly. Hey, we'll take icing on the cake any time of the day. But in general, my point is, you don't have to use max size. You don't have to take unnecessary huge risks, blow out the account, start all over, pay the fees, blah blah blah. All right. So that is my point. We don't need to do it to accomplish 100 grand. I'm not saying it's easy, because it's not. There's so many other different aspects of trading that we have to address. But in terms of what is necessary to achieve that goal, hey, I'll take it all day long, right? All right. So the software the software I use is the Money Flow Tracker and their new market internals indicator. All right, we're going to do presentations on this later. I believe I may or may not. I'm not sure. That probably has to be worked out with Rightline, but I may do some presentations on the software. But I will also explain in the trade room, because you're going to see the software, what it can do, right? And see why I use it, how I use it, how Craig uses it, how Mark Sachs uses it. And in my opinion, I've used it for the last 4 months. And to be honest, I almost switched from this software to another software. I said, no, I've gone through, penny stocks, small caps. I've gone through options, large caps. I traded large caps in my cash account when, Tesla was $1,000 a share, Nvidia, Facebook, all $500 a share, man. And I traded nothing, no indicators, with price action. And you know what? I'd actually recommend people do that in sim. Just to start to understand market structure, market profile, and price action. But what the software does is it, in a sense, I'm just going to say, evaluates money flow. And if you listen to people who are smart, they'll tell you in investing or what have you, follow the money. All right. All right. Also, education. So yeah, in the trade room, we are going to, I'm going to trade my evaluation and performance accounts. We're going to trade sim. We're going to trade micros. We're going to trade mostly the NQ. I'm very familiar with it. I might trade one mini, I might trade 2 minis. I'll call that out. And but at the same time, we'll trade micros as well. And you'll be able to see those trades, and I'll be explaining why I take them. You'll understand why I take them. And those trades should be high probability setups. It's not going to work all the time because nothing does in these markets. The markets are always changing, and algorithms that are being put forth by, you know, big institutional investors, they change those things. I know people in the industry, they see all our trades, they know where all our stops are, they know our psychology. they run on fear and greed to manipulate the retail trader. I can tell you right now. All right, they see everything. So we need every advantage we can when we're trading. And in my opinion, and the way I trade is try to jump on the back of these institutional traders. I'll take my piece of action and get out. All right, that's, in my opinion, a goal, a good goal to have. All right. So you're going to see those traded. That's what I'm going to be trading. But, you know, just given the market environment, what's going on with the trades, choppy, trending, range bound, so on and so forth, you know, that's going to, you know, emotional status, that's going to dictate how I trade and what I trade. Education is going to be offered with this room. So during the trading session, that's going to be mostly focused on trading. We're here to make money. We're here to pass. We're here to, you know, create an income, right? So the questions being asked, if there's a lull in trading, fine, we'll go ahead and, you know, answer a few questions. But after the trading day, we're going to have daily trade reviews, go over some of the call it MFT and MI instruction, that is the software, and review. Let's see if I can get my slide to page down. All right. And then we're also, one of the things I'm going to offer in this trade room is education. I hope you guys can see this chart. It's small on my side, but you know, this is going to be determined. I need to decide if I'm going to do this once a week. When, you know, maybe take a poll with the members, the people who decide to come into the group. You know, where we take some time to review charts, and I'm talking about member charts. So review members charts. We're going to, you know, review trades. We're going to set up a Discord room. Roy, who's on the line with us, we're going to set up a Discord room that has text and voice channels, so we can do this live, right? We can all plug in, you know, turn the you know, share screen on, turn on the audio, and take a look at these things and do it live, you know, one at a time. We're going to do question and answer sessions, trading discussion, and topics. I want to put together some videos, or at least links. I don't know if I can do the videos because of, you know, trademark infringement or something. I'll have to ask and perhaps reach out to those individual people and ask them about that. But, you know, especially in things surrounding trader psychology, I almost, in my entire experience from penny stocks to futures, but there's really no discussion on trading psychology, and it's probably the #1 issue that traders have, and it's the #1 issue that probably should be addressed first, in my opinion. In the trade room environment, we have trading hours are going to be 5:30 or 6:15, depending on economic news, and I will let the group know what is taking place. Once again, I'll say it this way: in an eval account, you can trade the news. Firms will let you get away with it. Once you switch to a PA account, they're going to send you an email, probably, or reach out to you and say, let's not do this anymore. If traders continue to abuse it and trade the news in a PA account, I can almost guarantee you they will take it away from you. All right. But Trading the hours to 5:30. If we have, this is a data market, data-driven market at the moment. But if we give it a minute or two, then, I feel comfortable explaining that to, I use Apex, and explaining that to whoever might give me a call or an email, right? Just give it a few minutes, wait for the volatility to stretch out and disappear. What was that, yesterday? They just range bound it for, I don't know, 5 minutes, just taking everybody's longs and shorts, building the market makers were building their positions and then took it in the direction that they wanted, right? So, we wait for some of that to disappear, and then we move forward. On a regular trading day, 6:15, I think is sufficient. Whether we trade the open or not, it just depends. That's a trader decision. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It just depends. I mean, when I was in a small cap Discord room and, we're trying to hammer trades, or even when I was trading price action of large cap stocks, yeah, I trade that open and pound it, trade it, slam trades. But I tell you what, it's really about the worst practice habit anybody can get into. Really, it is better to be patient, to wait for a trend. In terms of watching this software, the money flow tracker software, when I watch it, sometimes if I'm on it, I can get a pretty good read on an early trend and hammer it. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. And so, this is just tentative. This trade environment and what we're going to do in here, it's really just depends on the day and our emotional, time, our emotional set. Okay. After hours is going to typically end at 8:30 a.m. Pacific time. So for you guys on the East Coast, Europe, I have no idea, but you're looking at 8:30 to 11:30, right? And after the trading hours, after we stop trading, the room will focus on trades taken for the day that I took, and we're going to review them. All right. A code of conduct, like I said, I mean, we're a trading room, we're professionals, we want to be serious about this. Doesn't mean we can't have fun, but we want to, during trading hours, conduct ourselves in a professional manner. We're going to be focused on trading. And you know what? And we're going to, we're professionals. We're going to be polite. We're going to be courteous. Constructive criticism is welcome, and actually it is necessary as long as it's constructive, right? It's necessary to learn from our mistakes, because as a trader, if we don't learn from our mistakes, guaranteed people are going to fall into that 90% fail rate. I'm not kidding. All right, let's go to the next. Yeah, maybe the right one here. All right. So what do we do? What do traders need? And go ahead and answer this. Throw out some answers in here. What do traders need in their favor, and as many as possible, for high probability trades in general? How do we gain, how do we move from, say, passive observer to gaining predictive power to setting up a trade? All right, we got discipline, dollar bills. Yeah, self-confidence, a system, community and data, a plan. There we go. We're getting there. Data and momentum. All right. So all good answers. Now let me see something here. This should, so one way I do this, right? And I said it just a little while ago. We track directional flow of institutional money. Why? Dark pool info. Okay. I get you. Take action. Good. Experience. Yes, if it's the correct experience, right? Mastery of emotions. Yep, that's a good one. Proper setup, of course. But what we're looking at, right, is, for me, one of them is tracking the flow of institutional money, because in general, what do we want? What do all the best traders in this industry do? They look for edge. All right, edge. Where's one area that we are going to find edge? Institutional trading, right? So in my opinion, here's three things that traders need to be successful. You need trading education, instruction, software that provides you with a competitive edge. Disciplined rules and the emotion comes into that. Risk management comes into that. Correct setups comes into that. There's a lot of variables that go into being a disciplined trader. And the reason I estimate, in my own opinion, that traders fails because they do not or cannot or do not have the tools to be a disciplined trader. And that is absolutely necessary. And four, this is one of the things I picked up from one of the other rooms is, having a responsible trading partner, whether it's this room, myself as a mentor, or another person in the room you connect with that keeps you on track. I mean, for the last 4 months, Craig Emery, he's one of our futures traders, and he's trading cash accounts, right? And he's trading different instruments. I've been in that room for 4 months, and Craig said something that makes a lot of sense. He goes, at some point, I want you guys, meaning us, members, to be able to tell me if I'm off track, or why are you taking that trade? And that's the same idea I want in this room, right? I want people to grow to be able to make those decisions, obviously on yourselves, to be self-sufficient, and to say, hey, if I'm looking at a trade according to my process and to what I see, you see something, it's like, hey, dude, why are you taking that trade? I want to know, because that tells me you're learning, you're picking this up, right? You're becoming self-sufficient. And then, great, that's something we can talk about, if we have time afterwards or in a different session. And that's where I want everybody in this room to succeed. Whether people stay or not is entirely up to them. But I want people to succeed and take money from Wall Street. I mean, really, that's what it comes down to, right? For every trade, there's a buyer, a seller, there's a winner, a loser, and we want to be winners. It doesn't matter who's on the other side of the trade. We just want to be right? So I think it's these things. These I put 3 things. There's 4. I added 1, but these items here, I think, are key. All right. When I'm looking at where I'm going to find one edge, and there's multiple edges, right? One edge is follow the money. You want to follow the money. That is an edge, in my opinion, right? Doesn't matter if you're trading whatever. It's easy to see, like in a small cap stock with a small float, and we're focused on trading parabolic moves, and they're rotating the float, and the stock is in an uptrend. Well, parabolic uptrend, it's halting, it continues, it halts, it continues, and then it just drops to the floor, right? You can make good money doing that. And there's edges to that process, right? And the edge that I'm focused on mostly in this room is following institutional money. Why? Because institutional money is what's going to drive the market. It's not going to be retail traders. Retail traders in, meme stocks back in 2020, yeah, maybe. And there's some of those people I believe are going to jail. But you've got to follow the money. It's this contracts cannot be manipulated by retail investors. It just can't. Small float, yeah. There's individual traders out there, and I could name a few, that could buy a small cap float and just control it. And that's what we saw a lot of in 2020, right? But contracts, futures contracts, mini, micro, not going to happen. So who's going to move the markets? The market's going to be moved by banks, pension funds, hedge funds, state funds, insurance funds. And why? because they control the market. If you take a look at who is the institutional traders, you know, it's these guys. They're trading hundreds of contracts, thousands of contracts, $1 million positions. Here we are. Are we going to move this guy? No, not even close. You know, a good example is if you're trading, what was it? You know, Christmas holiday time frame, and we're looking at the markets, mostly retail. What does that look like? Chaos. It's a pain to trade when it's just retail traders. I mean, it really is. It's just chop. It's just back and forth. It's, you know, a bunch of wicking candles because nobody knows what they're doing or trying to, right? So, in my opinion, so, you know, this is why I look to follow the money of institutional traders, right? And that, for me and my process, all right. Now, this is what the software looks like. It doesn't, you know, there's a lot to look at. I mean, I was trying to think back of what this used to look like 4 months ago. And you know what? It's busy. And I do have some extra lines in here. I'll put in my own support resistance where I think it's coming from. You know, I'll throw something in there. But this is a picture of the money flow tracker of trading from Friday. And, you know, there's a lot of stuff here, and I get that. But, you know, if you choose to be in the room, if you choose to use this software, we're going to address what all this means. But in short, this is showing us money flow, institutional money flow. Where is the power coming from in the move? What is taking place here? And in this particular instance, there's an opportunity to get long in this position. And like I said, we don't have to kill it. What we're looking at is roughly a 20-point move from where we would identify where we would get in to where we would get out. And that's a 20-point move. You know, add that up on one mini or one mini NQ, one mini ES, 2, maybe 3 micros. You're done in a minute. If you want to be, you're done in a minute. And if you hit your goal and you hit that $40 mark or that $80 mark, and you hit your goal, I highly suggest you're good. Then you switch to sim and you trade and you practice and you continually look for what's going on in the trade, in the markets, and the software. One of the best things any trader can do is look at charts, chart after chart after chart after chart after chart. When I was trading Tesla, Nvidia, you know, they have personalities. It's the traders behind the stock. And if you look at charts long enough and begin to understand them, you will see that personality and their little tells, if you will, of what they're going to do and how they do it. It's human nature, right? Unless an algorithm kicks in, and then, you know, there's ways to identify when that happens. Like yesterday on the NQ, give me a break. The NQ is going parabolic on volume of nothing. Don't tell me that's institutional trading. It could have been a gamma squeeze, you know, options, Friday expiration, algorithm. They were definitely taking shorts. People kept trying to find the top. They let them, and they would take it. You know, institutions just take it, and that is how people get crushed and get their accounts crushed. How you fail eval accounts, how you take big hits to your cash account. You're trying to run the front side of a trade, and you're going to get ran over. Just ran over. Just never. We used to do it all the time, to be honest. If you run the front side of a small cap or something, you can do it if you know what you're doing, and you can even possibly, you know, do it on pullback retracements on a futures. But your profit set has to be tight, and it has to be taken ASAP. But, you know, why take the risk? Why? There's no reason to. That's why patience is it's one of the most difficult things to do, but one of the most important things to do as a trader, right? So anyways, back to this. Yes, we take this. This is ANQ. This is a long setup. We have everything in alignment that I would like when I see a trade like this. I'm going to take that every time because the probability of success is high. If I take a loss on it for whatever reason, hey, you know what? That's just part of trading. There's no system out there that guarantees 100%. And if there is, in my opinion, they're lying, right? There's no way. And this is a move you could be done in 1 minute. Done. Okay. Now here we go. This is what I wanted to throw this in here for Craig because we call this trade a Bart trade. Now this is not following the rules. This is based on 8,000 hours of trading, but I wanted to show you the difference. We have a whole bunch of stuff going on in this area, and what it really equals is consolidation after an up move, I believe, on this particular chart, right? And we're looking for a reason to trade. And when we have a reason to trade, we have every edge aligned that we can possibly have, right? That's it. So when we're looking at something like this is just chaos. You know, we have some in market internals that are showing some interest. Maybe they're building a position. You know, this isn't 30 minutes. This whole consolidation was 30 minutes in an up move. The expectation is that we're seeing this buy-in from market internals and, you know, the exchanges and the institutional traders. You know, the anticipation is, okay, yeah, they'll probably run it higher, but why would we take our trade in here? We can, but it's risky. And why do it? Because they're also giving us indicators that, hey, you know, we don't know what's exactly going on. We got some buyers, we got some sellers, we've got a long period of consolidation. But when I see, this is just a trade setup that I personally use sometimes. You see a bunch of consolidations and you get a flush to the downside and a pop right back. Typically, especially consolidation after an up move, you see a flush, whoops, like this. And in small caps, they do it all the time. They flush it again, and they're flushing weak hands on the long side, right? So those long buyers sell and they buy. Then what do? They go ahead and they run it, right? All right, so in this particular instance, I think I took a trade in here. This is what Craig would call my Bart trade, right? Because I've seen this 500 times. I know I'm pretty confident it's 90% what's going to happen. And so I took it and I sold out, you know, right in here because of this trend, we'll say resistance here at this point in time. But, or maybe I didn't. I don't know what I was doing, to be honest. Just forget that. But if we're looking at the trade itself, also, you know, we're starting to get some clear direction of what's going on here, right? We're seeing things align for a buy to the long side. We've got market internals going on. We've got trend lines that are aligning correctly. We're seeing some order flow power come in, you know, but we've got this resistance right here, and then, you know, they'll shake out everybody one more time, and then they break resistance. I wish I would have seen. I thought I took that, but it was longer. Anywho, comes down to support, breaks through resistance here, and boom, up it goes with everything in alignment. I mean, this is what we look for. This is what we mentally prepare for in the room that I'm going to run, and that right there was a nice trade. Same thing to the downside, right? We're going to see the same thing, just the opposite. We're going to look for the money flow indicators, or I look for my money flow indicators to give me the alignment that I'm looking for, and then I'm going to determine where I'm going to take that position. You can see it start to form right here, but we're coming right down into a pivot and this trend line right here that I have from another chart. But I'm looking at this and say, do I want to take the risk of running this short down into this pivot? That's an individual trader decision. What we typically will do, or if we're following the rules of Rightline in their software, we're going to wait for a break and then a wick back up of 1/2 to 3/4, and then Rightline uses a trading tool that would put a trade in right below this one tick below this bottom right here. All right, and that's one way to do it. Or, you know, if depending on the trader, sometimes I'll just hit the, you know, sell the ask, boom, try to get a better price, right? And then down it goes. You just made your profit for the day. These are the types of trades that I'm looking to do, right? And this is what I do. This is what I use. And we've got different indicators down here that are showing momentum, and, you know, trying to get these all aligned so we get the best trade. Okay. All right. Now, obviously, why do we do this? We do this for our financial freedom, right? Or the possibility of financial freedom. I was in corporate for, say 25 years, something like that. My last career was 17 years. And, you know, working in corporate has its advantages, no doubt, right? But it also has some disadvantages. And I always, before I retired, and this was during COVID, and I saw major changes coming to the industry before COVID, and COVID just put the nail in the coffin. But, you know, I always wonder why people would quit corporate. Well, it's because you're basically on call 24/7, right? You know, your manager's calling you, they're texting you, they want information from you, they want this report done, that report done. It's high stress, not to say that trading isn't, but at some point trading should actually be boring, right? It really should, because your process is so refined, your probability of success so refined, your probability of loss so defined, that, you know, and if you manage risk, you know, you should be successful on the other side, right? So at that point, you know, that's when I dropped everything. I dropped every benefit I had from corporate and said, okay, I'm not going to do this anymore. I can't do it anymore. I'm sick. I was actually tired of it. And, you know, a lot of other stuff goes on, whoops, in corporate, right? Some of it's good, some of it's not so good, I'll say. All right. So what does this do? It gives us a trading. It gives us an opportunity, you know, for success, for financial freedom, to work the you know, the hours of a day that we wish to work. Myself, because I am always learning. I listen to so many experts. I mean, I just try to take it in. I listen to so many different traders and their style. I mean, I may not agree with it, but there's always something to glean from it and to utilize and to add to my repertoire to trade and become more successful. So, you know, we all know the benefits. This is what we're striving for. This is why we're doing it, I would think, most of us anyhow. All right, I see you guys are throwing out a lot of questions, so just bear with me. We're almost done. All right, so obviously, you know, obviously, all right, you got two choices, you know, do nothing and continue on your path. And if it's successful, hey, man, more power to you. Love it. Man, I want us all to be successful. I do. This guy right here, I don't want this to be, I don't want this to be us. I want this guy to be on the other side of our trade. That's what I want. All right. And if this guy's a Wall Street trader, all the better. Okay. Well, sorry. The Wall Street trader, in opinion, is better. Or, you know, take a look, listen, you know, evaluate what you've heard today and decide if you want to, you know, take action. I'm going to leave that up to you. And with this, we'll have some VIP support. That's going to come from Rightline Trading and Roy's on the line, and also as well as myself, given certain things and I'd say products, if you will. But in my trade room, yes, I'm 100% dedicated to the trade room and making, well, I can't make sure, but giving us the best opportunity to be successful. All right. I just threw this in here. This is, masterclass series. Yes, we're going to be doing, and like I said, trying to determine when. We're going to do a Saturday. Sundays for me are off the table. Not going to work on Sundays. But we're, whether it's Saturday, a Wednesday, you want to do a Thursday night, something like that, it's all good. Just remember, we have people who, if they join, spread out across the globe, and we'll have to decide, kind of a good time for everybody. All right. But we're going to do this because I want everybody to be successful. We're going to have our own Discord room. Right now, this is the RLT Futures Trading Room. This is actually a post from myself, just talking about the use of micros on the NQ and just what that average trade was, and then multiply that out by 5 accounts or 10 accounts. Do you need to kill it? No, you don't. Back to my point, you don't need to kill it. But anyways, we have a lot of people in this room. A lot of us are active in this room. But this is the Rightline Futures Trader room, and Roy is actually, we're going to set up our own room so we can, have discussions. I'm going to have multiple text channels for information and training and education and videos, and then we're going to have a voice channel that we will, plug into, and just review this a little bit. If you decide to join, you need a microphone or a headset, speakers. Other than that, it's pretty easy to join into a voice channel just by clicking a box down in here that would be shown. All right. But we're going to have one dedicated to this room and to the topics that are important to all of us. Okay. So right now we have 3 live trading rooms, and the 4th will be this room for the performance accounts and for evaluations accounts. So the 3 trading rooms, we have David in options and stocks. They use the Compass system by Rightline. I'll tell you what, that's a really nice system. Really nice system. I'll jump in with David every once in a while. I do with you. I saw a few of you are familiar with Don Kaufman. I follow Don as well for futures trading. My last futures trade was like, I don't know, not last Friday, the Friday before. I have a tendency to trade options on a Thursday or Friday with a weekly expiration and day trade them, right? And my last trade, I had 2 lots of options, calls on the NQ, 60% on one, 100% on the other. So not a bad way to add to, the revenue stream, if you understand options and how they move. And then we do have the futures cash accounts, I'll call it, with Mark Sachs and Craig Emery. And, they're trading mostly the NQ minis, and typically, 2, maybe sometimes 3 contracts, but following the same process, right, as the money flow tracker. And Craig's done, kudos to Craig. I mean, he's really taught me a lot about that software, and has helped me in how to interpret the software, even though I have, what he'll call my Bart trades, which is based on my experience outside of futures. But, thanks to Craig for showing me and taking the time to really understand the software. And so, they do a good job in this arena here, in this room here, with those cash accounts. And then we have David Kushner, who's doing, I believe, and there might be some changes over there, so forgive me if I misspeak, Roy. But David's going to be doing futures, and Rightline's coming out with an ETF vectors program, software program, and I think David's going to be doing some of that as well. And just to mention, in the trade room that I will be running, it's kind of like sales, right? If you know how to sell, you sell anything, and that is the point, right? In my trade room, I've been talking about, micro NQs and the NQ. I'm working with Sergio, who's one of the programmers at Rightline, to allow us the ability to get alerts on different other contracts, okay? Because if I see the same setup and that high probability, low risk setup that I see all the time in, say, the NQ or the ES, you know what? I'm going to take if we're trading live and we're all in the trade room and I see it, it's another opportunity to take money off the table. Okay. We talk about that, later, but it's something I'm working on, because it doesn't matter to me if we're looking at the CL, which is something that I would trade, the ES, the Russell, what have you. If the setup is there and I get an alert and I take a look at it, you know, we're going to try to get it. We can set, I'll help you set it all up. We'll make sure charts are in order, so on and so forth. Tabs are open, and I use NT8. Okay, we'll make sure we have all that up in order so we can take advantage of those opportunities quickly. All right. So who am I? I mean, I'm just like you, right? I'm just a trader. I'm the guy trying to make a living. All right. Um, I'm not the best trader out there. No, I'll never claim to be. Am I the most profitable? No. Am I working through eval PA processes? Yes. I do have a solid background in trading, and that's what's helping me. And if I can take the information, 8,000 9,000 hours of information, and instill it in other traders, that's my way of paying it forward. Whether it's the right mentality or not, I want to take from Wall Street. I really do. I know what they do. I know how they behave, and it gives me great satisfaction to take money off their table. All right. But in a consistent risk management way. Some of these traders, I'll tell you what, and I'm going to mention something here. Some traders pull in 7 to 8 figures a year. I've seen traders make $750,000 one trade on live screens. I've seen people be in positions making, $1.8 million on one trade. I mean, it's crazy, right? Some of these traders out there pulling in 7, 8 figures a year have a 25% win rate. Now think about that, a 25% win rate. How do you think they do that? I mean, if you think about it, it's obvious, because so many people get focused on a win rate, and you don't need 90% win rates. It's not sustainable. Maybe the best traders out there 60s to 70s, right? And maybe they don't even start off at that rate, but they scale into a trade that, if they're right, and they get into a win rate. I know some trader that was, they've been down $30,000, $100,000 scaling into a position, and then, reaching that point, holy crap, am I going to get my butt handed to me? But they turned out to be right, and turn it into a $500,000 trade, but with a $50,000 to $100,000 drawdown in their account. So there's lots of ways to manipulate a win rate, right? But with guys that are 25%, 30%, 35%, 40%, 50%, you know what? Hey, you're doing good if you know how to trade it, and you trade it by taking losses quickly. And that's something like like a Tim Sykes. He expresses that every day. All right. So I'm like you. Yeah, I'm educating myself. I invest in myself. I surround myself with successful people, information. I work diligently. I learn from my mistakes. If traders do not learn from their mistakes, the results are never going to change, right? And that's one of the things I want to stress in this room. You know, managing risk, changing bad behavior. You know, all this is required to be consistently profitable, to beat the street, right? To turn an evaluation account into a PA account, to a live account, if that's the ultimate goal. If it was easy, you know, the failure rate of traders, you know, wouldn't be 90%. We want to be the 10%, and to be able to be the 10%, the successful trader, you have to take all this into consideration and work on it. There's just no easy way around it. I tried it. Trust me, I've tried it. Almost impossible to do. All right. Make sure I'm on the right slide. All right. So, you know, whether this offer expires at midnight or not, I'm going to leave that up to Roy. But you know what? For this room, this intro room, and everything that I've discussed, everything that I've talked about, everything I'm going to offer, I think, you know, $5 for a week. Give it a try. Okay, give it a try. If you want to stay in the room, it's right now is $150 billed monthly. Okay, and that's for everything: master classes, reviews, education, all of it. If you're in the room, you don't like it, fine. You know, you close it out, you're done, no problems. One of the biggest things with me, I used to be in corporate. The one thing I do not want I'm not gonna hassle people. You know, there's no obligation. If you want out, no hard feelings. It's completely okay. And I do wish you the best luck on your journey, no doubt, because I want us all to be successful. Okay, so this is what the offer is. $5 trial for a week. Give it a try, see if you like it, right? After the trial period, $150 billed monthly. I'm hoping that you know, you see the value of the education or the room in the first day, you know, and pay that right off the bat. Yeah, we'll see if that's attainable or not. All right, next slide. Oh, come on, are you kidding me? All right, how that? Oh, it's not showing me what I want on this particular slide. Huh. All right, well, that's interesting. Hold on for a second. Let me just do this. All right, can you see the new slide? Okay, so you can see the values. You see the profit. You can see the time frame. This is weekly. So we're showing an equity curve of, you know, 2,000 to, you know, it's like 11,000, I believe, in 2 weeks. Okay, that's what that graph is. For some reason, it's not showing. I don't know why. It's not showing. Let me see if that helps. It's not showing the numbers. Anywho, so yeah, this is the 2-week time frame. We've got started, you know, $2,000 to $11,000, and I'll show a different graph here in a second. All right. I closed out. Let me back this off, and we're just about done. So you know, okay. All right. So what I did is I cleared out the data from all my prior trades. I'm starting fresh with RLT. When we began discussing the possibility of this room, I took advantage of Apex's year-end special, grabbed several charts, all of them 50,000 contract, and that's what I trade. Okay. And that was a real pain. I shouldn't even wasted my time trading. Well, maybe I should have wasted my time trading during the holidays. All right. Oh, so here we go. This offer expires, maybe at midnight. Special offer trial period is $5. for the week, 150 build. If you wish to continue, master classes, review, education, all of it. No obligation, no hassle. You want out? Okay. We wish you, or I wish you, the best of luck. If you're interested, you can go ahead and put in your name, number in the chat box. Roy's going to grab that information and give you a call, right? And you see Right Line's phone number here. Being a Saturday, I'd probably, leave a message. If you want to email, your email is right here. If you're interested, if you have questions, you want to, whatever the case may be. There's no obligation. I'm not going to worry about obligation. All right, don't worry about that at all. All right, so if you're interested, put your names in, phone numbers, email address, what have you. If you're all right, so this is from 12/1 to 1/6, and this is 11,000. Okay, so this is correlated to the equity profile that I showed you earlier. Okay, so somebody asked how many trades. There's a lot of trades in here. And it just depends if it's picking up. No, it should not pick up sim. All right, so a lot of trades in here, something I'm continually working on. Sometimes, excuse me, sometimes if I'm using macros and I'm scaling and I'm in and out, that's going to affect this number here. Okay, it just is. There's no way to get around it. What I'm interested in, obviously, is profit, gross, loss, commissions. I don't, me personally, I don't worry about it. I come from, small cap trading. We're spending, a ton of money on borrows, hard to borrow. And, this is just, for me, a write-off. It's a cost of business. That's why I set up my company, is to be able to take advantage of such things. Profit factor, very important. Like I said, this time frame, and mostly it's the last 2 weeks of December going into January, profit factor is, in my opinion, it's okay for me. This could definitely be higher, and has been quite a bit higher, to be honest. But you're getting 41 cents for every dollar invested. It's not, not terrible. Number of trades, obviously, percent profitable. This is typically running 50 to 60%. And that's because I may be in a trade and I may exit right away. It just depends. But this is on the low side, and it was a tough couple of weeks, right? Yeah, when you trade retail, this is what happens. I pay attention to the profit per month, what the expectation there is if I stay on process, right? And then I'm always looking at this too, adverse events and geez, I can't remember off the top of my head. Maximum something excursion, I can't. Profitability, loss. This I'd like to see less than 50%. I'd like to see this around 25%. All right, but this is what it is. Just being completely transparent. This is for 2 weeks. Maybe you guys and you're smoking this. and if you are, hey, congratulations, man, love it. But I would expect this to definitely improve once we get into the retail side starts to come in. We get past some of this data-driven stuff and catch some nice trends or what have you. Okay, but as of right now, for the last 2 weeks, this is what it is. Okay, this is what it is. As I mentioned earlier, I use Apex. This is just one of the certificates. Somebody I think earlier asked about it, and you know what? This is, when you get one of these, it's nice. I'll tell you what, it is nice. You've accomplished a milestone, and that's fantastic. It means you're on track. All right, so I'll go ahead if you guys want to stay on and answer. I'll try to answer some questions, but I hope to see you guys in the Eval PA, the trade noon. If it's not for you, man, it's perfectly a-okay. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Giving me a chance to go through this presentation and work some bugs out, if you will. So again, thanks for attending. I appreciate it. This is our first launch, working the bugs out. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully it was of value. Hopefully it was relevant, right? That's what the goal of these webinars are, to be able to take information and effectively use it in a positive manner. And just two things I always say: always be learning. I tell my kids this all the time: always be learning. Just whatever it is. And that, sometimes that's related to changing habits, and you always start small and focus on the process and not the goal. And that is the same thing in trading. Focus on the process and trade well. Be patient. Wait for setups. Wait for the trade to come to you. All right. Okay. So that's going to end it. I'm going to see if I can actually hopefully you guys didn't see that. See if I can open this up a little bit more. Ooh, okay. And see if I can, maybe I'll just work backwards. Adrian, good question. Roy's on the line. And he's listening. So the trial period will start when? On Monday. How many evaluation and PA accounts will you be trading? So the trial period, good question. Roy, I don't know. Can you jump on? If you can, great. But otherwise, I'm going to say it's going to start when, you make the payment, and then you'll come into the room. I would probably just suggest that. I believe we're going to try to open this room up Monday. Hey, Roy, can you confirm that? Are we starting Monday?
Yes, we are. Monday is the day.
Okay, so we are going to start Monday. If you want to start the trial Monday, we'll do it. Let me see. Hold on. Yeah, please send me a PayPal link to sign up. Rory, if you can send PayPal link. I don't know if that's possible.
Not for this offer, no.
Trying to sign up for a 1-week trial on the RLT website, but it's frozen. Okay, so we'll check that out. I don't know what's going on with that, David. Thanks, Craig. Appreciate that. How can you tell if Apex is or not? Hold on. Not trading against its clients. Many do. Bart, what do you say? If they are, that's the problem. I mean, I'm not going to say a lot about that. My opinion of Apex has changed based on my research, based on some communications. I used to think that in my own opinion, I used to think they were all just whatever, I had my opinion of them. And that was it. I did try some. I've tried several, right? There's some good ones out there, and they all have advantages and disadvantages. But after my say conversations with some of those folks over there and going through their expectations and coming to the agreement, it's more of a business partnership, which I get and I totally understand. My opinion has changed for the positive. Whether they are or not, I don't know, and I can't answer that for you. But what I can say, at least in my experience, is that they're going to stand by what they say. If people are trying to dick with them, if people are trying to screw with them, or if they are, trying to manipulate systems and users and, IP addresses, what have you, I mean, they're not going to tolerate it. I'll start that way. So starting Monday, yeah. Discuss stops and targets. That I will have, Gar. I have my own process. It's going to be up to you to decide that process. But in general, you're going to see where I make my stops. We're going to be stopping where it makes sense to stop. What is your profit goal? What are you hoping to achieve? The longer we're in a market, the more risk we take on. That's just a fact. So, target stops typically into pivot points, into VWAP, into magnets, into other walls from higher time frames. So, there is a lot to consider when you discuss stops and targets. I use automated trade management in NT8. I have those set up. If you guys want them, I'll share them with you. But that's what I'm going to do. I'm looking for a payday. I'm not looking for a home run. If I'm running 10 accounts and I hit $100, that's a grand. Do I really want to trade after making $1,000 in a day? I don't know. Some traders do, some traders don't. It's kind of an individual call. So, you know, stops and targets, they're going to be based on what I see. We'll have when I make a trade, I have stop losses lined up on the chart, NT chart. And you know what? I'll move those around a little bit from the ATM. I'll move those around a little bit. Okay. And we can, if you're in the room, we'll discuss more. Trailing stop losses, I don't use them. Some people do, and you know, maybe once in a while I will, but typically I don't. I'm not gonna have an auto stop. You know, the thing with stop losses and those things, I mean, the traders see it. So sometimes I'll put them on, sometimes I don't. I have the ability or discipline to use mental stops, but obviously if I'm running a contract, either long or short, both Craig and I will do the same thing. We'll take our stops and we'll move them. If we look like we're coming into VWAP, we're coming into an obstruction, what have you, I mean, we're going to move that stop pretty dang close. I mean, I'm not going to give it up, because if you're trading an eval account, you're trading a PA account, you know, say for with Apex, for example, what are they going to do? They're not going to take the profit from, you know, where your exit is. They're taking it from where the max was, right? That's why I'm looking at the MFE all the time. You know, am I taking the most money off the table? That's my goal. That's my own personal goal. I'll put it that way. Okay. So, you know, exit on line change, you could, you know, you can do something like that. I have a tendency to be a lot tighter, and most of the time I'm right. You can usually get a 10-point run, 15-point run on the NQ before it's going to make a correction or break the exit on line change color. Okay. So, you know, you get 10, 15 points on the NQ, you got one contract, two contracts, or, you know, 2, 3, 4 micros, you're good. You're golden. You're golden, right? All right. Everybody's putting in numbers and emails. Good. Hold on. Let me just run up here a little bit. Max favorable is there. Thank you. Favorable excursion. That's what it is. Thank you, Kurt. RR looks good. Max drawdown and consecutive looks like they would fall. Looks like they would max drawdown and consecutive looks like they would fail all Apex. Max straight down. No, you know, well, I'm not sure exactly what you mean by that, but yeah, max drawdown, that was total. I believe that's total. That's not per trade. No, if we're trading micros, we try to keep that in line with what we're trading, right? And that's what I'm saying. Could be a short trading day. If the markets are crazy and, you know, the trades aren't working, or the software, you know, it looks like an algo's figured it out, what have you, I'm not going to be taking, you know, $1,000 loss. No way. Not even close. If our daily goal, the other thing I look at is this. Usually I'm going to show this to you guys. Hold on. Just bear with me and hold on for 1 second. All right. So let me see. Where's that? Average time in the market, max days to recover. Yeah. You know, this right here, I like to keep to 1 day, because if we're trading micros and we're expecting $80, $100 times 10, right, or 5, or $200, whatever that is, right? Do we want to risk more than what the daily result is? I mean, that's a call for the individual trader. This, for me, this is high. I don't want to see this. This is way high, because I don't want to have to max time to recover. I don't want to have to take 7 days to recover a loss. There's just no way. I mean, that's just, in my opinion, undisciplined, right? And like I said, this is the result of, you know, the holiday trading, so on and so forth. But typically, this is 1 point, you know, something days. Usually, this is what it is. That's what I run. But yeah, I mean, to your point, dude, I mean, we have to keep it tight. And if things aren't working, I'm going to cut it. If things are not working in the room, my trades aren't working, I'm going to go to sim. I just am. Because the biggest way to fail, well, I'll put it this way, biggest key to being successful in trading is you manage the risk. That's it. People, that is the key, okay? That is the key. All right, so let me get to, well, I'm going, and let me see. Get Discord. All right, I'll just leave that. All right, so max failure recursion. Let me just answer a few more questions. Sure, if there's a max drawdown. Okay, just answer that. Okay, we have trading specifically on that chart was NQ, Brandon. Skip. It's a $5 intro, 150 per room. No, software is different. That's right line trading. Okay, but in my opinion, it's well worth it. Yeah, I've blown accounts. Absolutely, I've blown accounts. I gambled I gave the example, right? $80 to gamble. Of course I did it. Of course I never understood or read Apex's rules and guidelines. They would never allow it anyways. Doesn't matter. We've got lots of emails, phone numbers. Thank you guys. Appreciate that. Interested in trial period. Sweet, thanks. Looks like fun. Yeah, you know what? We want it to be fun. If as a trader, this is Eric, and he's left. But as a trader, if the trader's continually stressed, there's something wrong with the trading. All right, there's something wrong, and that has to do with process. And some other things, and we can get into that later. But yeah, no, I don't know if it should be fun, but it should almost in a sense be boring, right? You hear successful traders, yeah, it should be boring, really, because we're waiting for the best opportunities. Does Apex accounts allow accounts in your company name? Do the payouts okay, so the accounts I believe are in my name, but I get the as a member, but the 1099 is for my Business Pro Edge, right? I'm curious. Okay, this is Brian R. I am curious about the funded trader account. Does every individual has to get approved on their own, or are you plugged into that once you're in the room and successful? I'm curious about the funded trading account. Oh, you can trade your own money and be in the room, Brian. If I'm understanding you correctly, you can have. I'm just saying that if you use evaluation accounts, I think it's worth it, especially when they offer huge discounts. Why not use other people's money? I mean, that's smart. I mean, that's just smart business, right? But no, you don't have to have eval accounts if you didn't want to, or if you'd like to learn how to trade before hitting an eval account, that's fine. That's entirely up to you. But the focus is getting people. I'm going to be trading my eval and PA accounts. Okay, that's what I'm going to be doing. And that's kind of like the target audience, but it's not exclusive. Okay, hope that answers your question. Yeah, he's popping off. Okay, sign up link not working, Roy. That was earlier. Average time to pass evaluation.
I can call the office and I'll sign them up right over the phone.
Oh, okay. So if the link's not working, call the office and we'll set it up over the phone with Roy. Hold on. Where did I just lost. Yeah. Hold on. Yeah. The link's not working. We got that. All right. Average time to pass an evaluation. Bob, depends on the trader. I mean, no easy answer on that. When would the room start? Monday. Yeah, you saw my success rate. Very fair honorable. Thank you, Sally. Yeah, you know what? Tom's left. You're taking over an hour. Yeah, we'll be working on that. Trust me, everybody. It's fine. This is the launch. Things are going to happen. It just is. Are we looking at crude oil? Yes. Bitcoin, not so much. I'll look at it in terms of what it's doing in correlation to other markets. Will I be doing a lot of teaching for Calvin? Yeah, definitely. These are earlier questions. I think I answered most of these. All right, I'm going to run down to the bottom again, and I think we're going to wrap this up. Thank you hey, Jeff, thanks so much. I appreciate that. Put in a call. Yeah, Sally, thank you. Arthur, hey, appreciate it. Arthur, I think you're the same one that's in Craig's room, so thank you. Appreciate that. Recording this. Yes, you should have a link for the recording to review. Okay, and if you lost the sound, skip. There is a recording. Recording, yes. I use a trade copier. I use Medi. I use Apex. I think it's $97. What kind size contracts do I recommend? I've tried a lot of different ones. For me, it's the 50K eval contract. You know what? Yeah, you know what, Roddy? Yeah, if you need to travel, you're on the road, just go ahead and email or put in the chat, Roddy. Just go ahead and answer or put your name and email, phone number in the chat for Roy, and just let him know that. I don't think that's a problem. Without any stop in futures, a negative headline, and there goes your whole physical house signed over to a broker. Hey, Arthur, yeah, you know what? I've seen people get hammered, lose $1 million. But that's why I say we want to be in and out of the market. That's my process, in and out of the market, because you're right. Every time we have a position on, whether it's in our own portfolios, it's stock, it's an ETF, it's a trading contract. Dang, you better have stops on, but even stops are no guarantee, man. I've seen stops just, you see them just get blown through, right? You better just start, here's the other thing too. Don't, people who are trading, if they have their own account, they're trading 10 contracts and the CPI report comes out and they're long and the market tanks. They don't have a stop in, they're not going to get out until they're busted. You're right. So control your risk, control the contracts, use stops, use ATMs, and that's something that we will obviously discuss, go through, show you in the trade room. All right, let me get back down to the bottom. I think I'm getting caught up here. Are you reviewing trades on E-minis or only NQ? I think that was the NQ chart. Let me yeah, NQ chart. But if you take a look at the NQ chart and compare it to the NQ chart, they're going to be very, very similar. So no problems there. I try to use, well, it just depends. I'm trying different things, Medi. So I will have 10 to 15 accounts. Sometimes I trade them in different lots, and then I was messing around with using or setting up 2 Apex copiers. And it just depends on the markets. How many accounts I'm going to trade, why, and what size, because it's going to depend on the market conditions. It's going to depend on how I am emotionally doing. For some, I'll just, if a trader has a bad night, you get 2 hours of sleep. I mean, you might as well just go to sim. I'm serious. You got to be disciplined in your trading. And that's why I'm saying in this trade room, if you expect me to come in and we're just going to kick ass all the time, it may not happen. I mean, that's not a real expectation. Okay. It's just not. If people are trading like that, they're asking for a big disappointment, in my opinion. It just is. All right. correct. Read the broker contract. So to answer that, Mehdi, you know, I've been using like 5 accounts at a time, especially during when it's been really volatile, and when there's just more retails than institutional trading. There's no reason not to, because it's just chaotic trading. And then probably minis or micros, excuse me. Will we see you trading online like other right line room? Well, yes, yes, Gar, that is what this room is. Okay, you're gonna see me trade live. That's why I'm saying you're gonna see. Well, let me hold on for a second, guys. You're gonna see me. You're gonna see me trading. You know, we're gonna come into the market, and this is 6:30. You know, 6:30 starting. Boom, we get a little run up, a little pullback to the 50. We start alignment in the indicators, and up she goes. This is, I mean, you could be out right here. We have this pivot right above from this prior, but depending on the momentum, depending on volume, which would be active here, and a lot of different other things, man, if it looks like it's going to run, take it, right? Boom, our stop loss is right behind us anyways with the ATM. And, you know, we picked up something if this thing decided to pop and then retrace back to the 50, say. I actually took this trade on the NQ, ran it up to this point, and I was like, you know what, the market's a little crazy. It's data driven. We've got the Fed speaking today. And on this wick down, I got out. I was like, I ain't going to waste my time with it. You know, if I wanted to, you know, I could have waited, you know, here to the pivot, but I'll let you in a little secret. If you're using this software and we see a nice run up and they throw a wick down and it doesn't break this 15, high probability it comes right back up and goes up a few more bars. All right. That is something that I have noticed. I'm going to be trading the NQ micros or the minis. You know, ES, I follow it. I don't like it, but I know a lot of traders do, and you know that's a possibility. Alert systems for other trades and instruments as well. And on the short side, if we're looking for things to come into play, I mean, this is, you know, kind of what we're looking for here. We get a little tracement. We get market internals. We've got we've got some congestion in here, and then right about this point, we go, okay, we're looking good. We got this, you know, this to deal with. Maybe take it right here, right? This is, since this is Fridays, the wicks for whatever reason will not stay in the charts after they close out their systems. But, you know, you get a pullback to this line, boom, you know, take it. What is that? You know, 10, 15, 14 points. Take it all day long, right? Okay, so yeah, this you'll see this running live to answer your questions. All right. Oh no, how do I get back to where I was? Hold on. Thank you guys for your patience. Yeah, you know what? Okay, so I'm gonna work my way backwards again. Frank, yeah, you know what? 40 trades. It just depends. Like this is what I do for a living. The trade room, I'm gonna try to keep that to about 6 trades. All right. But when I'm trading, if I'm having a good day, I'm on the right side of the market, and you know I'm in a position I don't lose, I'll take a bunch of trades. I will. You know, if I'm up big, I'm always going to protect my capital, but I might take the winnings of a day or my profit for the day and say, okay, I'm going to risk 10% of that and stick to that rule, and I'll keep trading it, right? But in the trade room itself, yeah, we're not going to be well, in a sense, we are scalping, in my opinion, because we're looking 10, 15 points. Other people, you know, look at scalping as, you know, whatever, 5 ticks, 10 ticks. But we're going to stick in the trade room. Thank you for bringing it up, Frank. You know, I'm trying to stick to 6 trades. That's it. You know, if we have good trades, we won't even need 6. We could be done, switch to sim, and we can educate ourselves. If it takes, you know, if it's just a day and it's just red, you know, I'm talking about PL, and you're into your 4th trade, 5th trade, yeah, I'm probably switching. I'm switching to excuse me, sim, and now it becomes about education. Okay, it becomes about training. Do I use the NDT? I do on some trades. The NDT is works well, in my opinion. It works well in certain setups. There's a lot of times where I use it, and there's a lot of times, depending on the market structure, profile, and momentum, you know, I'll hit a bid, buy bid, or sell the ask. So it just depends. But you know, there are definitely some setups where I will use that NDT and it'll actually, you know, save save some money, or, you know, stop you from getting into a, you know, losing trade in a sense. Do you trade copy off your own Ninja account to Apex or run straight off Apex? So I'm running Apex with NT8. I think if I'm answering your question right. Run straight off Apex. Yeah, so everything's connected on this chart up here, this account, all this setup. Yeah, I'll have the ATM connected in on the screen off to the side. Hold on, I'm trying not to miss anybody. You see the trading? Yes. Yes, we're going to see trading live. S&P and the ES contracts. Yes. My specialty is NQ, but yes. Good, thank you, Roddy. Okay, yeah, thanks you guys. I appreciate all that. Okay, I think got one or two more questions, and let's see, use the NDT. Yep, 40 trades. Yeah, but in the trade room, same with Craig, same in the cash futures room. Same, I believe, for David Kushner in that futures room. I mean, we're looking for the best trades. That's it. You know, six trades, 6 good trades, or just 2 good trades, what have you. How many screens do I use? You know what? Because I look for edge everywhere. I also look at a lot of different things when I'm trading. I have 6 screens and they're all full. I'm looking at a 5-minute chart. I'm looking at and that's a candle. I'm looking at some other candle charts with other indicators. I like using standard deviations from VWAP as well. High volume, low volume nodes, market profile, and so I'm using that in conjunction to find hidden walls, you know, support or resistance on a particular trade within the money flow tracker. Yeah, so thank you, James. James M. Like Roy said, if that link's not working for whatever reason, I don't know what's going on with it. We need to work on that, definitely. Just call into Right Line Trading and Roy. If he's on the line with people, just, you know, leave your name, message, and a telephone number. We'll get you set up. See you Monday. Nan, love it. Okay, 150 including software. No, that's software. No, it's not 150. Okay, it's a little more expensive, and I get that. But I'm telling you, it's what I use. It's my primary trading device. If I show you how to use it, you'll have pretty good success. All right. You know, you got to think about it this way. What do you, you know, where you are as a trader, Skip, and what you're willing to invest in that. I mean, that's what it comes down to. Some people love candles. Some people love Rinko. Some people love whatever kind of charts there are, you know. They just, you know, you got to find something that works for you, your process. And for me, this is the process I use. I use that software, right? That's primary. And I was showing you why am I going to look at candles? They're jumping all over the place unless I want to do 5-minute candles. But if I'm using 2-minute candles, you know, there's such fluctuation. I used to do it all the time. I use candles all the time, you know, for large cap, mid cap, small cap. But, you know, it's hard, in my opinion, hard to do with contracts. There's too much. I mean, you're trading contracts. I mean, you can be down $100 pretty fast. If you're trading two minis, you can be down 250 in a heartbeat, right? Just within one candle. So you got to have a sniper mentality when it comes to trading futures. You just do. I learned that the hard way, man. You got to be precise. You want to be, well, traders need to be precise in what they're going to do in a futures contract, whether they're going to go long or whether they're going to go short. In my experience, this is the best software to do it. And that's something I'm willing to invest in, because that's what money made. All right, in my opinion. All right. Software, can you post the link in the message box? I don't. Hey Roy, for John Hernandez, 11:46 a.m. Can you post the link in the message box? Hey John, I'm not sure which link. Maybe you're talking about the trial. Go ahead and call Roy at his number, and I think Roy's probably has that number up for you. If not, I can get it to you. I'll show it again. We'll get that taken care of. Okay. I was able to sign up. I just tried several times. Okay. Hey, thanks, Gar. I appreciate that. It might be easier just to call Roy though, and it's Rory. Okay, Rory. Okay. What time will the trade room be open, and what is okay? So Andrew, if you're in the trade room, yeah, it's going to be dependent on if it's a data-driven news day. So my time would be, we're going to open it up, and I'll have control of it, so I can open the room when I want. I'm going to open it up at 5 a.m. Pacific Coast time, 5 a.m. to 5:15 a.m. Typically, we're probably going to open up the room about 6:15 a.m. right? So that's going to be 8 o'clock, 8:15 you're on the East Coast to 9:15 on the East Coast, and we're going to close it at about 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. All right. Oh, so Brent, if I think I understand your question correctly, on the trade copiers, yeah, I switch all the accounts around, but typically I'm using the eval accounts, right? But I switch things around. Let's see. Link now working. Awesome, Sally. Thank you. Oh, there's the Rory. Okay, thanks. All right, Andrew, you're welcome. Brandon, you're welcome. Are you doing a master's class? Calvin Coolidge, the ex-president. Calvin, yes, that will be included. Lots of things included. See if you find a better deal. I just want to pay it seriously. I want us, honestly, I want us to ride the back of Wall Street, take our piece of pie, and be done, and make a comfortable living from it. Convert these eval accounts to PA accounts, so we're getting paychecks from deal. Okay. Yeah, exactly, Maddie. I saw that. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Yeah, we'll get paid. All right. The hardest thing about trading, I'm telling you, is emotion. It's trader psychology, at least in what I've seen and what I've experienced. It really is. Replicanto, I try to trial Joseph. So, I never did use it. I stuck to Apex. I'm familiar with it. It's easy. I think they all have their pros. They all have their cons. Sally, yeah, I'm looking at next week too. Should be interesting. Okay. Hey, you guys, I think this was supposed to be like a 45-minute presentation. You guys hung in there. Thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead and shut this down. I think, thank you so much. In the future, if you want to refer this, we're talking about some kind of referral process, but, in the future, this will obviously, this presentation is going to get tightened up, quite a bit. First run, thank you for being patient. I appreciate it. Hope to see you, a lot of you in the room. We can do this together, and we're going to be disciplined. I'm telling you, discipline. We're going to take those high probability trades, and if you're not used to being patient, you're not used to sitting on your hands, you're gonna get used to it if you're in my room. Okay. Okay. 3 hours. Good. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll tighten it all up, and hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it was worth your time. I hope it was relevant. And once again, thank you so much, man. And you guys have a great weekend, and go out and enjoy time doing what you do. All right, Roy, we can go ahead and take this down. Thanks a lot, guys. Hope to see you Monday.